And welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we are watching and reacting to Forge FC versus Vancouver FC in the Canadian Premier League 2023 season. Match 18 for Forge. For Vancouver, it's 17, but I'll say week 18. So, the last time I up and did a Forge Vancouver game, it was a 0-0 draw. I chose to go up and do this one. Hopefully it's better. They're playing at Tim Hortons Field once again. Back in what, April they played? That's what was it April, I think? No? Because they went and played Montreal after May. Yeah, sounds about right. I don't know. It was a while ago. Feels like it was April. So there we go. So with that being said, here we go. Starting 11s are as follows for Forge FC. In goal, Tristan Henry. The back four, Darvin Matusala, Alexander Akinyoti Janssen, Mandrecker James, and Rezart Rama, the back four. The midfield three, Kyle Becker, Alessandro Hujabrapur, Noah Jensen. And the front three, Kwasi Poku, Taron Campbell, and David Chouanier. And for Vancouver FC, in goal, Callum Irving. The back four, Minjae Kwok, Rocco Romeo, Ibrahim Bakare, and Cameron. The midfield two, Elliot Simmons and Garcia. The attacking midfield three, White, Bitod, and Cantave. And the striker back in Vancouver, just for another team, just like Callum Irving. Alejandro Huero Diaz is back in Vancouver, just for a different team. But Huero Diaz is back in the league. Reigning Golden Boot champion still. So let's see if he brings that out. Find out. How we doing? Forge should be able to handle this. They're third place. Vancouver only has 13 points. I know we lost to them earlier this year, but that was over there. I think they'll figure this out. Don't worry. We'll be fine. How we doing? So, with that being said, we'll be live for this one. I will review this one. Then we got a packed weekend. Orlando Santos tomorrow. Chelsea Fulham and Toronto Atlas on Sunday. And then, of course, on Monday, we have Columbus versus Club America and Chivas versus Sporting Kansas City. As they should. Predictions in the EFL Championship. Honestly, I haven't even made them yet. I say EFL Championship is better than MLS. You're wrong. I say that Leeds goes back up. I think Leeds wins the league. I don't know. I think Leicester will be in the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to finish top two. And Southampton. I think Southampton will be in the playoffs too. I think Leeds are the only ones who will go up automatically out of the three relegated teams. Norwich City, they'll be in the playoffs. Trying to think here. That's my predictions pretty much. I got QPR relegated. Yeah, that's a good call. I like Gareth Ainsworth, but yeah, QPR is getting relegated. I agree. They barely got away with it last year. Yeah, I think Ainsworth. I like him. I do. But QPR's going down. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's his fault, per se. I know a couple Timbers fans who are West Brom supporters. Yeah, they're mid-table, though, in the championship. For me personally, that's weird, though. That's kind of crazy. I'm not bad crazy, but just, that's definitely something. CPL, Canadian Premier League game here. Forge versus Vancouver FC. Why not, right? And this is pretty much to make good for the fact that I only have one game tomorrow because the LA versus Vancouver Whitecaps game got moved. So here we are, right? And then Sunday, Chelsea versus Fulham sort of the make good for Leon LA getting moved. Thank God I didn't have to make good for the St. Louis and Chivas game. But had I win, I would have made good for it. But here we are. Vancouver wearing their black kits. They could have done that earlier. Okay. Teams are walking out. We're on our way. Hit that like button. Let's get this one going. Forge versus Vancouver. I like it's on FS2. I could actually watch on the TV, though, unlike last time. Unlike the last time they played each other. What if TFC had the power level of America? I'd be a very happy man. That's my answer. I'd be a very happy man. A very, very happy man. Lucas Moura to LAFC is very interesting. I think it'll be a good move for LAFC. Yeah, he's better than Lozano. So if Lozano ain't going, but Moura is, you're honestly getting a better move anyway. So, you know what? Hopefully it works out for LA. But speaking of the Western Conference and teams that have sort of been questionable this year, if Portland makes the playoffs, call me crazy, but I think Portland's going to make the MLS Cup final. If Portland makes the playoffs, they're going to make the Cup final. I just have a feeling. I think Portland will make the playoffs, but let's just use the if to cover my behind. If Portland makes the playoffs, which I think they will, Portland will make the MLS Cup final this year. Because it looks like Portland's going to get really hot. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if they make the Leagues Cup final either. If they get past Leon. I think they can even without Evander, but still. Watch out for Portland. Let me tell you. They should have beat Tigres. They should have been 11 versus 11 and beat Tigres. If you beat Tigres, or if you would have 11 versus 11, you could beat anybody. So. I think Miami could beat America. They'll somehow find a way. It might be questionable, but they'll somehow find a way this tournament. Because you know why? They want Messi to win. Roberto De Alessio is the referee here for this match. We're ready to go. Forge FC, starting 11, Henry, Matusala, Janssen, James, Rama, Hajabrapur, Becker, Jensen, Poku, Schwanier, and Campbell. for Forge FC. Sometimes they take these down quicker than they should. For Vancouver FC, Evander has a Twitch channel too. Did Toronto get out of your brain? I'm not thinking about them right now. How we doing, Hans? Haven't seen you in a bit. How we doing? Vancouver FC, Irving, Kwok, White, Rocco Romeo, Cameron, Garcia, Bakare, Simmons, Vitar, Cantave, and Alejandro Huero Diaz for Vancouver FC. But right now, yeah, TFC's out of my brain. I won't think about them till Sunday. Unless somebody brings them up. Sometimes you got to protect your mental health. But here we go. Forge versus Vancouver. Last time they played at this stadium, it was a 0-0 draw. Then they played over in Vancouver and Forge lost. This is their third of 4 matchups this season. Vancouver on 13 points, and they've picked up 4 off Forge. Forge at 26 points in third place. They'll be top of the league for a little bit if they could win this game. With the most games played in the league. After today, they will have the most games played in the league. At the end of the night, they'll have 18 matches played. I think that means they only have 10 left, yeah? I think there's only 28 matches, yeah, so they only have 10 left. Jesus Lord. About to kick off, and we're off. Forge kicks off. Forge wearing their orange. Vancouver wearing their black. So they could have done that last game, but they didn't. At least the last away game. Working the EPL Summer Series the last 2 weeks, mostly with Brighton and Hove Albion, but did work 2 days with Newcastle and 1 day with Arsenal. I'm at the match over at RBA. That's nice. Speaking of the EPL Summer Series, I'll be covering the Chelsea-Fulham game on Sunday when Chelsea lifts the trophy. Their first trophy in God knows how long. I actually like Chelsea's preseason. Chelsea's preseason has been awesome, to be honest. So I think I'm in for a good match when I cover that. So speaking of, might as well speak of it. 1 minute. 0-0. Since we're on the topic, you know. What if America faces Saprissa? America would beat the hell out of them. Especially with Quinones and Henry, who's not playing like a tronco. Nice. I don't know how many AEW references we'll get on Sunday, but we'll see. From me, I should say. Maybe one Jacksonville Jaguars reference too. I don't know. Probably more likely I make like 5 AEW references. 2 minutes in, goal kick taken. Forge wins the play, but it gets played forward, but Forge gets it back. Quasipoku plays it back. Come on now. James. They're pushing Akinyoti up into the midfield, leaving Mandrecker James the only central defender. Bobby, what are you doing? Bobby Smirniotis, what are you doing? Alexander Akinyoti Janssen is in the midfield, in possession, and they're leaving Mandrecker James alone as the only central defender. I mean, I normally trust Bobby Smirniotis, but like Mandrick or James being the only central defender, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, Akinyote Janssen isn't even dropping back. Still in possession, still. He isn't even dropping back. Jesus Lord. Methuselah sort of playing as an outside back as well, but he can also play center back, so I guess Buddy's on the left side. But he's still pushed out there, so okay. I wouldn't call that. But then if you don't, how are we doing, Winvo? But then if you don't, you're leaving yourself exposed on the left, so. Sorry for the typos and slide over here, plus sun glare at the moment. It's fine. It's fine. How's Mandrick James doing? As far as the game's gone so far, not bad. Today, not bad. I'm still waiting for the mistake. Because he's the only central defender. They've left him alone with Methuselah on the left, pulled out wide, and Rama on the right. But that's where he should be. Okay, so Akinyote did get back when the ball wasn't in possession. Okay, good. He's going to be caught out of position at some point. I mean, come on, he will be. Hopefully not. And if that's the only chance they have. Forge right now is second in the league if this draw holds. Which it's early, but still, 6th minute, 0-0. It's really tied at the top of the table. As normal, I guess. Did y'all see that Juventus got banned from the UEFA Conference League for a season? Honestly, is that really even a ban, though? I mean, if you're playing Conference League, are you really playing European football? Especially if you're a big team. Like, are you really? I mean, you are, but are you really? Like, I mean, yeah, for Aston Villa, it's cool. But let's just say, I don't know, Chelsea finishes 7th and City wins the Carabao Cup again. I mean, we do need to complete the set, so I guess in a way it's okay. But, you know, let's just say Chelsea, which 7th's good compared to last year, you know, but they played the Europa Conference. They do need to finish the set, so I guess it's okay in that situation because they probably win it. If they're there, they're going to win. Hell, the 2 times they made the frickin' Europa League, they won. So if he plays Toronto, yes. If Juve don't even want Conference League, if Juve don't win it, there'd be questions. So it's good they got banned because they also just lost the Europa League last year. And they shouldn't have, really. Probably because of FFP. I know. I saw. I don't know what it was, but it just happened. Sometimes it does. 7th minute. Maybe a quick Wi-Fi glitch. I don't know. 8th minute, Hajabrapur. Hey, Forge is holding possessions. That's the good news. Haven't really had a chance at net, but whatever. Kyle Becker plays forward. And Quasi-Poku can't get there. Sevilla went Super Saiyan. Well, yeah, of course they do. It's Europa League. Like, I've never not seen Sevilla lose the Europa League, but I've heard that So it'll be very hard for Sevilla to win the Europa League again because they don't really ever finish 5th. Or 6th, I should say. Because if they finish 5th, they'll still probably make the Champions League in the Swiss system. So this might be the last year that Sevilla could win the Europa League. If they go down. Told us around last night, still regret the Timbers picking Brian Fernandez over Julian Quinones. And I regret that Toronto didn't look for him because guess what? When you wanted Fernandez, guess who we got? Pablo Piatti. Now, this is not hate to Piatti, but Quinones, we could have got for the same money, the same level of salary as we did Piatti. And I think that would be the player that Vanny would have wanted because he wanted wing players. Quinones would have been the guy that he wanted. And guess what? It would have worked out perfectly. Would have worked out absolutely perfectly. So we missed 2. And I like Piatti, but we missed 2. Because Tristan Borges is coming on for Poku. Quasi Poku is hurt. Tristan Borges comes on in the 10th minute. I think Orlando wins 2-1. They win outright, which means Houston will go through as well, which is what I said was going to happen. Orlando wins 2-1. True. If we win in 90 minutes and win in pens, then we move on. We score 2 at full time. We'll score. If we score 2 in full time, what? I thought that means you won. You mean if you lose by 2, you're out? You confused me. True. I mean, I'm surprised, but hey, if Pereira gets some playing time for NYCFC, that's good for him. What are your thoughts on the Sundowns player coming to TFC, Cassius Malula? Hey, we're going to somehow score those 3 goals on Sunday. That's my thoughts. Pretty good striker. If they play him up top, we have a striker now. As long as we may actually score a goal on Sunday. We have to score 3, but we may have to score, or we have to win by 3. But you know what? Maybe we'll score those 3 goals. Book it. Book it. The football gods are going to help TFC. We win 3-0. Malula scores 2. Bernadeschi scores 1. Book it. Book it. And then maybe last minute, Blessing gets us a 4th just to be safe. You won't see it coming. So, but yeah, we finally got a striker. Those are my thoughts. Exactly. Oh my God. Why is the Galaxy doing this? Friend went to Croatia for 7 weeks. Yesterday met Zlatko Dalic for the first time in his small town on the sea. They spent the day boating with friends. He sent pictures on Instagram. That's nice. Small world. We need to score more than 2, and this is what Orlando City said. I get it, yeah. But Houston doesn't play another game, and Santos would only be on a point. If you win, that means you're on 5. You're on 5 points. Houston is on 3. Santos would be on 1. All you got to do is win. Because you won the shootout. Houston lost. 2 points, 1 point. You win the game, you're on 5 points. Houston got 2 more by winning their shootout against Santos. They're on 3 points. If Santos were to lose to y'all, they'd be on 1 point. You would go through if you won. And you would top the group if you won. Houston's the one who's on the tight squeeze. If you lose, you're out. Because Houston has 3 points. That means Santos would have 4. Santos, Houston, Orlando. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it now. Okay, I get it now. You should have full it up. Cross in. If we score less than 2 in full time, draw and lose pens, that means we're out. I know. I was joking. I was being facetious. I was saying, yeah, we have a striker. I think Malula will score on Sunday. It'll be way too late, but he'll score. I was being facetious about the 3-0. Like, I was being facetious about that. It would be great if they got it. If they somehow, the football gods somehow were like, you know what? Yeah, we'll let Toronto have one. Because of rot loss being rot loss, we'll let Toronto have one. Again, that's also facetious. But okay. Gaston Brugman's out for the rest of the season. Yeah, Galaxy's done. Newcastle are in pot 4. That means we could see a group of Barcelona, Porto, AC Milan, and Newcastle. Honestly, that would be an awesome group. That would be an awesome group. Group of death, but an awesome group. I may watch those games. Hell. Becker, 15th minute, 0-0. This sort of reminds me exactly of the last Vancouver Forge game in Hamilton. It's the exact same. Am I watching the same game? I know I'm not because Vancouver's wearing a different kit. But come on now. Orlando wins. They'll be first. Houston are second. Yep. He didn't give the full scenario, though. But then he did. So I understood. I still think Orlando wins outright, though. Oh, Taron Campbell couldn't get the ball. Am I crazy, or is this exactly the same as the last time Forge played Vancouver and Hamilton? Guero Diaz, cross. That's going to get out. I watched Conference League yesterday. Both Oschek and Rajka have shooters from midfield who place the ball like Orsic does. And what would those players cost? Pray tell, what would those players cost? If MLS got rid of the salary cap, maybe Toronto would get one of them. You think Rotloss will buy the refs again versus TFC? I don't think they would let them buy the refs again after what they pulled. After what they pulled earlier this week. I think maybe the refs would actually finally be against Rotloss for once. They can't let them just, you know. For the first time ever, I think the referees are going to be 100% behind Toronto. That's the good news. There's no way that the referees are going to allow a team that made the reference that Atlas made about the offside go through with any ease. The referees will legitimately probably call 3 bullshit penalties for Toronto just to hopefully, help Atlas get pushed out the door, The players would cost peanuts. Probably the only way we'd score goals, but you know what? There's a guy called Canada in CPL. They better be selling that guy's kit. Whoever team has him. There's a 15-year-old in Canadian Prem. Yeah, that makes sense because it's supposed to build the youth players. Becker loses the ball. Oh, no, we got it back. Borges. Jensen. Oh, come on, man. Jensen puts it way over the bar. I didn't say shootout. We're out anyway if there's a shootout. We have to win outright and win by 3. Which is very unlikely unless the refs put their basically meddle with the game and give us 3 penalties. Dinamo's most expensive player on the transfer market is 20-year-old Baturina at 20 million euros. Who would Forge want to sign, honestly? I don't even know where their cap is, to be honest. But hopefully the next center back that Bobby signs is better than Mandreck or James. I don't care if they're 18 or 35. I hope that center back is better. Oh, yeah, we did already. Yeah. Offside, that'll be a free kick. Lol. $4 million. 4.1 million, pretty much. Yeah, I don't even know if they have any room to sign anybody until the offseason. Except, like, Sigma players, so. Dinamo won 4-0 Champions League on Tuesday. All the shots were great placements from outside the 18. I wish Toronto could do that. That would mean they could actually score some goals. Yeah, they got me going, I guess. Sunday going to be at Long Beach, Washington for the whole day. Going to be fun. Nice. That sounds awesome. How close is it to Forks? I couldn't help asking that question. Cross in, headed away. They'll be out for a corner. First corner of Forge. First corner of the game for Forge. 21st minute, 0-0. How close is it to Forks? I couldn't help asking that question. You see, I'm a twahard. Blame my mother. Short corner, Schwanier. Oh, Jensen couldn't get there. Hajduk Split beat Dinamo last Friday, league opener. Sigor was man of the match at right fullback. Would be great if we had him. Here's a chance. Forge, cross, and it's a horrible cross. Throw in for Forge. Borges, horrible cross. Mbappe to Chivas confirmed. Honestly, I'd rather see that than him go to Saudi. Besides, Chivas, I know it's not happening. I was just saying I'd rather see that than Saudi for Mbappe. Besides, you know, Chivas needs a striker. So, you know what? Worth a shot for a year, you know? Chivas is in Champions Cup. Yeah, it's worth a shot for a year. Mbappe just bodies CONCACAF Champions Cup. The only way that Chivas can beat America this year is if they had Kylian Mbappe. Think about that he left Von Azzurri last August. And a year later, he just scored against Dinamo. Man, it's crazy. Toronto could have had that kid instead of Kobe Franklin. Guess what? Toronto can't scout. Oh, yeah, he's not Mexican. I was like, wait, why don't you say America? I was like, hold on, wait, what? Why don't you say America? But I was playing along. But that's why, just like Saudi Arabia, in the end, Chivas is just as unrealistic as Mbappe going to Saudi Arabia. One, because he's not Mexican. Two, he don't want to go to Saudi. I don't care how much money they're giving you. Yeah, he may actually be able to play. Would they call him up for the Euros with the benefit of the doubt? I'm not sure. For the benefit of the doubt, I'm not sure. Oh, Italy plays at 3:30 in the morning or 2:30. Maybe I'll watch it. Oh, what a save by Tristan Henry. I know it was a joke overall, but still. Just imagine if they waived that rule one time only. It's like, yeah, it's probably smart. Lots of great players in the GTA. I'm going to a 9 p.m. kickoff tonight. You're doing more scouting than the Toronto FC scouting department. If I was the manager, I'd hire you. If I was the manager, I'd hire you as a scout. Can't be worse, can it? Especially for the more local thing. For the more local academy players, yes. I'll do what I'm doing right now. Like, I don't know, Central American Cup would have a lot of great players to sign. You know? They have a lot of great players. I've seen them. Look at Kervin Arriaga. 25th minute. As I said, I know how to scout players. Why? I always use this example. Kervin Arriaga, back in 2020 when he played the CONCACAF League, I said verbatim, he would be great for Toronto in 2020. I said that. And I kept saying that in 2021 when he was playing for Maritone in Champions League. And then he goes to MLS. He's Minnesota's third best player until Pookie got there. I'm not surprised I was right. Nah, I didn't. But you could also, with that, he would be good for Toronto also, as he's an MLS level player. And he could be really good. Well, who was right? It's not Toronto, but it is Minnesota. It is an MLS club. I was right. He's their fourth best player. Because right now it's Pookie, Hongwan, Reynoso, Arriaga. I don't think that's arguable. They're four best players. I don't think that's arguable. So, and Minnesota's a good team. It's not like he's on a horrible team. If he was on Vancouver, I'd be like, yeah, of course he looks good compared to the rest of them. If he was on, let's see, who else? If he was on Austin and he was good, I'd be like, yeah, the rest of them suck. Besides Driussi, the rest of them suck, especially this year. Minnesota is a pretty good team. So, all I'm saying is I was right. I know talent when I see it. There's a lot of good Central American players that would be great MLS players if they were given the chance. Like, that is a very big market inefficiency, you know? Especially the non-Olympias and Saprissas and Alajuelenses. You go down to, like, the Real Españas and the Maratons and the Real Estelis and the Heredianos of the world, you can find some really quality players that would come to MLS and be some MLS quality players. Trust me. I'm just saying. It's a real big market inefficiency that nobody really tries to expose, especially if the league was still capped. But even then, you could still have some really quality depth pieces had they got rid of the cap. It's some really cheap depth pieces, so you could get your best players, but have some really good cheap depth pieces that iron sharpens iron, even if they got rid of the cap from those countries. So, again, even the CPL to a certain extent, headed away by Bacare. Alianza Lima, yes. Pedro Gallese came from there, yes. Modric was on Dinamo C team as a teenager. He went from Dinamo to Tottenham to Madrid, which is crazy. But again, in my book, the big market inefficiency in MLS is, yes, they've picked up Costa Rican players before, but they've never been younger, raw players that are talented. It's always been the Kendall Wastons and the Leals, or the players who have played on the national team for like 3 or 4 years already. Cross in, shot, blocked away, and that's over the bar. It's never the Bonnett's. A player like Bonnett probably would have been amazing in MLS because he went to Europe. But I'm just saying, he wasn't really a national team player before he went to Europe. Campbell sucked in MLS, I think. Yeah, he did. But I'm just saying, it's more of the national team stalwarts that are the ones who went to MLS. It's never the Arriagas or player of his ilk that they looked for, or a Samaoya, or a Jose Pinto. They never did that, which is weird. But there's a really big market inefficiency there. Like, I'm going to vouch for Central American talent because I see there is talent there. And there's also grit there, which in MLS, if you want to win outside of MLS, you kind of need that grit, at least in the locker room, so the other players could see that grit. You know, iron sharpens iron, so to speak. I'm just saying. So, again, yeah, that's my dissertation for the day. Will there ever be a two-way keeper like Campos who could be a goalkeeper striker? Nah, I think that'll never happen again. Mbappe to Real Madrid is turning into 57% in the transfer market. But again, there's my dissertation for the day. Central American talent is a very highly understated market inefficiency in MLS. If you could just sign Central American talent to a respectable deal, you could fill your bench with some, or even your 11 and your bench with some really quality players. And if they take away the cap, you could really fill your bench with some quality players and have some really good players and pay some more to some really good players on your 11 and maybe your first 15. But those Central American players are still going to play. So even if there was no cap, there's still a market inefficiency there. So I got this all figured out. But again, I got this all figured out. So I'm just saying. Mississauga, Croatia had a third division young center back from Croatia a couple of years ago. He plays second division coaching youth in Croatia now. He makes about $3,000 a month there. Well, I mean, he's Croatian, so. Cibao 2-0 over Atletico Villarreal. Damn, the Dominican League is crazy. I mean, Cibao should be winning, but... Well, Cibao should be winning, but Villarreal ain't too bad. Should be closer. 32nd minute. Now, I sort of want to see if that sort of mindset or market inefficiency still, goes for the Caribbean clubs as well. I haven't really... Caribbean Cup could really show that, I think, when I look into that. But over the bar, that'll be a corner for Vancouver in the 32nd minute, 0-0. You know what? Maybe I should actually write an essay about how Central American players are a market inefficiency in MLS that hasn't been taken advantage of. Bauer's first 43 points, as I would have expected. 33rd minute. I could probably bang out 5 or 6 pages on that. Maybe 7. Cross in. Any MLS team's going to play Libertadores next year? Doesn't sound like it. I'm very proficient at Microsoft Word. I could probably bang out a 7-page essay. 12 points. Times New Roman. Single space or double space? What do you want me to do? Single space or double space? What do you want me to do? 33rd minute, 0-0. 13 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses. Not bad. I was always pretty good at writing essays. The only thing I was bad at, as I joked about in the comments in my last video, is math. Because somebody said you should write my essays. I'm like, as long as you don't ask me to do your math homework, you're going to be fine. As long as you don't ask me to do your math homework, you'll be fine. Actually, speaking of Microsoft Word, I'm not just proficient, I am certified in Microsoft Word. So, yeah. And Excel. I'm certified in Word and Excel. The PowerPoint was second, yeah. So, yeah, Word and Excel. I think you're wrong. Are you forklift certified? I'm not that much of a redneck. I think you're wrong. See, this is why it's a market inefficiency looking for Central American young talent in MLS. Because people look way south. They don't give them a chance. I didn't say they'd all be starters, but half of them are depth, half of them are cheap starters. Hell, can't be worse. And it still would be a market inefficiency even if they got rid of the cap or really extended it. Because, again, you could have cheap depth pieces in that case, buy better quality players for your 11, and then have iron sharpens iron. You could have the grit sharpening the talent, and then the talent sharpening the grit. And then once you need those depth pieces to play, I've got this figured out. But okay. But yeah. Go pay a premium for freaking Argentinian 20-year-olds. Yeah, go ahead. But if I was a manager, I'm paying cut rate for a Honduran 20-year-old player who's just as good, if not better. But go ahead. Go ahead. Go get an Argentinian 20-year-old player who. But no, I'm not that much of a redneck. I'd be better than Sebi Salazar. Or I could troll him too. Either way. 36th minute. See. But hey, if you're Atlanta United and you want to go get an Argentinian 20-year-old player and pay $1.5 million or $2 million to get him, when I, as a manager, could go get a 20-year-old Honduran player and pay only $650K, and they're just as talented, if not better, that's more money to go to somebody else, especially if there's a cap. Exactly. But nobody does it. It was a train wreck of a show yesterday, you told me. But nobody does it. Yeah, this game is sort of boring. If I'm going off in a dissertation about signing players, this game's kind of boring. But what if those players are sent to Europe by a manager who believes in them and showcases them? See, that's the thing you don't understand. If a manager sees this market inefficiency and showcases them and gives them a chance, and Europe sees them and says, you know what, this Honduran kid is good. Give him 2 years in MLS. He goes to France. He goes to the championship. And then he has a good career from there. Or a mid-tier Premier League side. They got to have a chance. Exactly. Because you're going to pay $2 million for somebody who was in Boca's academy, and they may not even be that good. Kervin Arriaga says what? MLS says, oh, he played for Boca River Plate Academy, so he must be decent. You find out he's mid. Yeah, there's always players that flop. There always is. But it's kind of crazy how it's like, oh, he played for Boca's academy. He played for River's academy. Mid. Like, I know Pablo Piatti was like 28 when he came to Toronto, but he played at a really decent club. Hell, he was a La Liga player of the year like in 2015. And he was mid. He was good, but he was mid. What's he done since? I believe America should go all out for America or America. The team or the country. I mean, I don't think they have to go all out for League's Club or League's Cup. They're going to win a trophy this year in some way, shape, or form. He played in the Prem, did not impress many people. Exactly. 40th minute. '40th minute, 0-0. It's been pretty much halfway. I haven't really seen anything from either team. This game's been boring. Forge has held possession, but maybe they're not the finished product, but they have quality. At least flashes of quality that I could see, hey, if this was worked on with better infrastructure, maybe it's the dead end. Maybe half of that problem is the dead end, that nobody buys them because they don't watch enough to see the flashes of quality that those players have. Cleared away by Ibrahim. I'm going to F5 you. I'm making a point. Like Kervin Arriaga, yeah, he was good with Marathon, but he's been even better with Minnesota. Adrian Heath saw his talent. He's made him better. Again, there's multiple players you can do that with. So, I don't know. Again, part of the problem is that there's a brick wall because managers don't let them have a chance with better infrastructure. And then if they do go to an MLS team, they go to a team like Vancouver, who's a complete joke. So they don't go to a team like Toronto, New York, Atlanta. That's my point. That is my point. That's my point I'm trying to make, because like if Vega went to MLS when he was really good that same season as Arriaga, when I saw some talent in both. But if Vega went over, I think his recent career has been shaky. He wasn't that good. He wasn't as good as he was back in 2020. He goes to MLS. He builds on that talent. So, that he did have, that potential he had. And he's not that old. He's still pretty young, but younger than Arriaga. So, again, that is the personification of the brick wall theory. he had potential, but nobody bought on it. Say Toronto did, you have a backup to Aurel, and then when Aurel leaves, you have a pretty good right back as well as a left back in Richie Larea. And then you build on, and then your defense is a little bit more well built as time goes on. So, again, that's part of the brick wall theory. Sort of. I could write a dissertation about this. Who was a player who hoped had potential but dissatisfied you? Cross in here. Shot! Missed. That'll be out for a corner. Let's see here. Jordan Hamilton. Let's go there. Let's talk about Forge. Jordan Hamilton. Jordan Hamilton has had a lot of flashes of talent. Now, he had a lot of flashes of talent, but in the end, he scored like 2 or 3 goals a year and then in a very short amount of time and then petered out. So, and even with Forge, he's been sort of just Jordan Hamilton. Yeah. Like, I always expected more out of him. Like, I always thought he could hit that next level, and it really sort of... It hurt to see that he didn't, 45th minute. What if he hit the next level? I don't think we'd be in the problem we are now. Galaxy-san Yoshida. They could do that? What? Aren't they still transfer banned? Or is this he comes in the winter thing? Any European guys you saw potential in? Ooh, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Callum Hudson-Odoi was one of the most saddest cases. 2 minutes of stoppage time, 45th minute. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Callum Hudson-Odoi was, I thought he was going to be amazing. That year with Maurizio Sarri with Chelsea, man, I thought Callum Hudson-Odoi was going to be special. Then he tore his Achilles, and ever since, he just hasn't gotten back to where he was when Sarri was coaching Chelsea. It's sad because I thought Callum Hudson-Odoi was going to be somebody. Like, I thought the transfer ban ends next week. Okay. PSG lost to Osaka's 34-year-old Kagawa scored the winner today. Nice. But, again, 46th minute. Yeah, Callum Hudson-Odoi for me. '46th minute. I don't think I've ever seen a European player lose their potential so much. That'll be a throw-in for Vancouver with 1 minute to go in the half. And then we'll have another 45 to go. It's been pretty boring. Nil-nil at the half looks like it's what it's going to be unless there's a crazy howler. Atletico Madrid lost to the best K-League 11 on a good shot. Football's a weird sport. '47th minute. And it's halftime. 0-0 at the half between Forge and Vancouver. It's been a pretty boring first half to the point where I gave a dissertation on signing potential players. Halftime 0-0. 45 more to go. Forge still sitting second in the league. They'll finish top of the league at the end of the night if they win this game, but they have to get at least 1 goal, if not more. Sit tight. We'll be back for the stats at the half, talk about how the first half went, and it is what it is. Sit tight. I'll be back. Hit that like button. Let's get this one going. for the stats at the half. Stats are as follows: 65% possession to 35% possession, 6 shots to 6, 302 accurate passes, 89% to 149, 80%, 3 fouls to 4, 0 offside to 1, 5 corners to 3, 6 shots to 6, 1 shot on goal to 1, 341 passes to 186, 302 accurate passes, 89% to 149, 80%, 8 throws to 10, 0 yellow cards to 0, and 0 red cards to 0. It's 0-0 at the half. It's been pretty boring. Forge has held possession. They've not really got the ball into the final third. That final ball's just not been there. Equal on shots for both sides, but Vancouver couldn't get anything out of against the run of play. This is very similar to the last time these two teams played. Or not the last time, but the last time in Forge, at Forge's Stadium. Let's see. Very similar. 71% possession to 29, 18 to 10, 2 big chances to 0. Blah, blah, blah. 3 shots on goal to 0. Hey, Vancouver's doing a better job here. Very similar, yes. Very, very similar style of play here, or situation of play here. Which is just something, to be honest. Been a really boring game. Forge is just, they've been the slightly better team just because they're holding possession. Other than that, Forge don't look like they're playing well. Vancouver doesn't really look like they're going to score against the run of play. It's not that great of a game. Like, Forge needs to do better. They need better on the... They need to do better when it comes to the run of play. Like, they need to put better chances on. They need to take shots. They're not really doing that. Forge looks... The final ball's just not there. And then last week, Calvary beat Vancouver 5-1. And we're only drawing them 0-0. Of course we are. Wow. Sometimes it just gets worse, but still. It's boring. I was about to fall asleep. At least you can fall asleep. I can't. Who knows? Maybe I'll take a nap after I put the streams up after this game and get the video up. Maybe I will. I don't know. Can't hurt, can it? Maybe I will. I don't know. I'm not against it. Union 2, 0-0 will Wrexham. That's interesting. At some point, Wrexham will take the lead, even without Paul Mullen. My guess, at least. Get this one going. Same thing with the Los Dos game. Yep. Sadly, that'd probably be a better game to watch than this, but, you know, I saw Forge was playing on Friday, and I had to make it up for the fact that the LA games got moved. Both the Leone and Vancouver won, and I'm like, hey, if I'm going to a game that has a Vancouver team in it anyway, why not do Forge Vancouver FC? I'm never doing this matchup again. Unless it's the CPL final, I'm never doing this matchup again. How boring it is. The last time I did this matchup when they played in Hamilton, 0-0 draw. Looks like we're going down that same way. Yeah, as of now, Forge would be second. Cibao 2-0 versus Atletico Villarreal. Should I have done the Wrexham Union game? Yeah. But yeah, waiting for the second half to start. But yeah, Chicago changed time against Pueblo. Well, that wasn't one I was covering anyway. Yeah, you can tell I'm bored. How bored I am. Hopefully, the second half is better, unlike last time. But I will say, the streams for this weekend will be up very quickly in relation to how the video for this game comes up. Pineapple Pepsi. That sounds disgusting. Second half about to start very soon. If teams are walking out, here we go. Perfect. Jays took the lead. Let's go. See that ad every day now. It's just weird. What ad? Any schedule for weekend, including Monday to League Cup group stage end. Saturday, I'm doing Orlando versus Santos Laguna. That's it. Live and review, Orlando Santos. Sunday, I'm doing Chelsea versus Fulham, live and review. And then Toronto versus Atlas, live and review. Then on Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, I'm doing Club America and Cincinnati or Columbus live. And Kansas City and Chivas live review. So 1-1 or 1-2-2. And then Burger King is the worst ad, I agree. And then on Monday, I'm putting out Run It Back for the Dynasty Stars. And then Tuesday, I'm putting out the month ahead for the Dynasty Stars, yeah. Then Tuesday, I'll do the, the Leagues Cup group stage recap and knockout predictions. And then, of course, on Tuesday, there'll be the first Central American Cup game ever. So the 5 o'clock game, Shelahu versus the game with Shelahu I'll be doing. And I'll review that as well. And then, of course, Leagues Cup round of 32 starts on Wednesday of next week. I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that'll be what I touch on over the next week. We're off in the second half. 0-0, settle. Forge in Vancouver looking to set up. And one of them will win the game. One of them will not. Most ads aren't weird to me because I know Japanese ads. If you've ever watched Japanese commercials, most American ads wouldn't weird you out. Like, just watch. Next time Sasuke comes on, just watch Sasuke. Like, since like a 5-hour show. Like, the ads on there, there's at least... There's always a weird ad somewhere. Whether it's a ad that, like, weirds you out or it's like, what the hell? Like, what does this have to do with, you know, pain relief cream or whatever? Seriously. That's like half the fun, to be honest. I love Sasuke, but like half the fun are the ads. It's like, what the hell does this have to do with pain relief cream? Or yeah, you could look up Japanese commercials on YouTube, I guess. But it's always cool to see what new stuff they conjure up during Sasuke every year. It's always cool. So, playing forward, Forge doesn't get anything out of that. 48th minute, 0-0. Or you could also look at Japanese anti-piracy ad, because now it made sense, but there's a dude with a big old camera head, which is just hilarious but weird at the same time. Playing forward. Here's a chance. Taron Campbell misses, but that's a really good chance for Forge. Are they knocking at the door finally? For the first time against Vancouver FC, because they did not score over in Vancouver when they played there as well. They have not scored against Vancouver ever this season. Well, this is the only time they played each other twice. They have not scored against them in 2.5 games. Let's see if they finally do. On YouTube, they have a SoftBank, a company who uses a dog to promote things. It's funny because it's the iPhone 4 days. Yeah. I remember those. Schwanier pushed down. That's a free kick for Forge. Yep, they're knocking at the door. I get to watch Sweden versus Italy later. Me too. If I'm up, yeah, I'll watch it. Playing forward, Becker clears. 50th minute. Should be an interesting, one. Japan is up in second place in Group C. They haven't played Spain yet, so that'll be interesting to see how that turns. Japan versus Spain. That'll be a really good one. Player down hurt for Vancouver in the 50th minute. Well, you should have expected it since I told you, but if I didn't tell you, yeah. I always go back to that one sometime. With that being said, just imagine sitting in the theater and there's a camera head sitting next to you and you turn your head like, I'm not. Just turn your head like, I ain't saying nothing. What? I ain't snitching. I'd be like, what the hell? But I ain't snitching. No. 52nd minute. '52nd minute. Long ball, that's going to go straight to Callum Irving, and no, Schwanier can't pick that one up. I thought he was about to, but he did not. Borges loses the ball. Free kick for Forge. '53rd minute. Kwok gets a yellow card. 53rd minute, 0-0. Free kick for Forge here. Hojab report, and they play it backwards. My God. Jensen, Becker, cross, and it goes straight to a Vancouver player. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Tristan Henry picks it up. That'll be a goal kick. Rolls it forward. Forge is looking a lot better in the second half, though. I think. Didn't that happen last time, though? I covered this? Yeah, I think so. They better not hope Vancouver makes the playoffs, because if they did, I don't like it. If I was, I'd be like, okay, I ain't snitching. If I saw that big camera head, I wouldn't snitch. It ain't my job. You're like, what? Okay, fine. '55th minute, playing forward. And they played the ball backwards. Yeah, because I don't know how to speak in camera clicks. Sabal lead 2-0 in 56 minutes. 5th minute, 34th minute, they scored. Maybe I should have watched that. Again. Jensen, oh my lord. Can they take him off? Jensen has not been good today. And that's going to be a goal kick, because Kyle Becker always knocks it over the bar. Well, Sean Hundle coming in, Crawford. Cantave and Kwok coming off for Sean Hundle and Crawford. Hundle and Crawford coming on. Got in a picture with Evander, Espria, Mosquera, Diego Chara, Moro, Boli, Bravo, Ivicic, Zuparich, Paredes, Santi Moreno, Loria, Niasgoda, and Williamson. It's like half the team. That's nice. 57th minute. I don't know why they put on another striker, considering that's not the point. But okay, I guess maybe that changes the game. Mauro Diaz and Sean Hundle, I guess. Good clearance, but that almost, you know what? I almost ate my words there. Cross in. Cleared. '58th minute. Ooh, nice. Plays it long. Schwanye. Right to Callum Irving. Nice. Forge has played better in the second half, but CW want to have NASCAR Xfinity Racing. So the B squad, what? What's the point? I guess, what, they get the Xfinity rights after Fox's part of the season ends? I guess, I don't know. Sean Hundle overruns the ball. Shot over the bar. Vitar puts it over the bar. '59th minute. All 33 races on the CW in 2025. Like, is that even going to get good ratings? Pac-12 football and Xfinity races. Yeah, sure. CW getting poverty rides. There. Playing forward. Shot! Save! What a save by Hundle. Or what a save by Henry off the shot by Hundle. Whoa. Luckily, that didn't go too badly. Nice. Don't spoil it for anybody who wants to see it. I could. Frankly, good to hear. Nice fit, though, I will say that. O'Connell scores for Wrexham. Vitar blocked away. Now Vancouver's starting to build on something. Who do you think's going to win? Unbiased opinion based on the game so far. 0-0 draw. I don't see. It's either a 1-1 draw or a 0-0 draw. I don't see an outright winner. Sibal penalty goal 3-0. '62nd minute, 0-0. I think it'll end up a 0-0 draw, but it's still. I'd say I'd say both teams have had some really good chances recently. Got $150 for Hamilton to score 1 goal. Yeah, you might lose that money. You might lose that money. I'm not saying it's an outright thing to happen. Save! Good clearance back in Yoda Janssen. Jeez. I'm not seeing the Barbie movie. I have no reason to. Can't wait to see Liga MX go head-to-head against South American clubs again. I have no reason to see the Barbie movie. I'm not going to see it. '63rd minute. Long ball, headed away. Ooh. Barbie movie not catch your eye? No. Libertadores competition. Goal Union 2, 1-1. That's sort of shocking. Now, Oppenheimer, on the other hand, I honestly. Like, for a really big movie that everybody wants to see, it's got to be really catch my eye for me to go in the first weekend or even the second weekend. Even then, Raffaello goal. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Barbie is not one of those. Hell, even Oppenheimer is sort of on the line, which, so. I might just wait till it gets on streaming. Definitely for Oppenheimer, but you know. 64th minute. Besides, it's one thing after another right now, isn't it? So, people say it's crap are the ones that say it's too woke. I didn't say that. I just don't want to watch it. It looks like a good movie. It does, but it's not worth my time to go to the theaters. I actually think it does look good for a movie based off of a toy. It looks pretty good. And I mean, movies aren't a hot thing anyway, usually. Like, I remember when Twilight was big. Like, trust me, Pashis for Jensen and Schwanier off for Sissoko. They took off Schwanier? Okay. But yeah, I don't go to theaters much anymore. Like, I only go there to sit in those reclining chairs. Hell, even I don't want to even go to Oppenheimer really right now. So you know what? Trust me, the one I really want to see, I don't even want to go to the theater to see that. So, besides, busy anyway. It's like one after the other. Hell, I didn't even go to the Mario movie. And I was probably more interested in that than the other two. So, there you go. Before those last time was in theaters was 2016. I went to theaters last year. I saw Minions. I think I saw something else last year too. Cross in and Campbell hits it off the body. What else did I see last year? I know I saw Minions. I know I saw like 2 movies last year in the summer. Minions and what was it? It's definitely a comedy. I didn't even go see it. I don't like superhero movies unless it's Guardians of the Galaxy or it has a wrestler in it and I want to watch for them. I didn't watch Infinity War or any of the Avengers series. Like, when it comes to superhero movies, the only ones I like is Iron Man and Guardians of the Galaxy. Robert Downey Jr. is awesome. I can't lie. So, I like Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man is just a perfect role for him. So, I know he was in Avengers, and I guess the Guardians of the Galaxy were in Infinity War as well, but so technically, I definitely think out of the Guardians, Dave Bautista isn't in there that much, but playing forward, Taron Campbell. Shot. Oh! Out for a corner. Well, let's see. Playing forward. If I did go, I probably would just wear that Miami jersey, make it easy. I know what you did. In my case. 70th minute. If I did go. Forge looking for a goal, playing forward in the 70th minute, 20 to go. Oh. Well, that was just, bad giveaway. Bad giveaway. Long ball, good. Clearance. Hojabrapur. Long ball. Pashis. Woobens Pashis. Sissoko. Sissoko shot. Goal! Goal! Forge! Forge scores! Abubakar Sissoko. What a shot. What a shot. Just a single run. Finally, their first goal against Vancouver FC. Abubakar Sissoko puts it away. What a goal. A masterful goal for Forge, and you got your goal. Masterful goal in the 72nd minute. It's 1-0 Forge. Curls it in. Sissoko with all that green. Puts it past the defender. Masterful goal by Abubakar Sissoko. Forge has the lead. And if they do, I think they'll win. So, well, there you go. 1-1 still possible, though. There you go. Needed that. Their first goal against Vancouver FC all time, because the first game was a 0-0 draw. The second game in Vancouver was a 2-0 loss. Took 3 games, took 2.5 games, but they finally got a goal against the expansion Vancouver FC. Took a while, but they got it done. 72nd minute. Easy money. 150 to win 85. Easy money. So is that 85 on top of the 150 you bet? That's still a profit. It should be on top of it. Yeah, that's still a profit. So there you go. Not the best profit, but it's still a profit nonetheless. Becker crosses in. Pashis, goal! Woobens Pashis! 2-0! Wow! Slides in. That's 2-0 Forge. All they had to do was break down the wall. There you go. Woobens Pashis. 73rd minute. What a cross by Becker into Woobens Pashis. It's 2-0. There you go. That's the Forge I know. There we go. They broke the dam. There you go. 73rd minute. A minute later. There we go. A minute later. Gma for Simmons is the sub. I heard. 2-0 by Forge. Basically, took 72 minutes, but 2 minutes later, they're up 2-0. They should be able to hold this one down then. There we go. Top of the league, baby. 2 points. 2 points clear for now. I know it's a full weekend, but it's 2 points clear. 2 points clear. Top of the league with 10 to go. 75th minute. Forge for Vancouver throwing. Vancouver tried Hi-O today. Tastes like LaCroix if it had actually any flavor in it. 7.5 out of 10. Vancouver's minus 18 goal differential now. And we lost to these dudes and drew them. The draw I understand, but the loss? Come on now. Football's football, but blackberry lemon, that actually sounds pretty good. That actually sounds awesome. That actually sounds amazing. I may have to look into that. That sounds amazing. 76th minute. But I've heard, speaking of like sparkling waters, I've heard bubbly is better than LaCroix. Since you brought that up. Heard bubbly is better. I haven't tried either. Tastes like actual blackberries too. 76th minute, 2-0. 14 more minutes to go. And Forge has a 2-0 lead over Vancouver FC. There's the Forge I know. There they are. They just got to, well, they'll hold on, probably. I mean, going Medica 4-0. Congratulations to y'all. Anything's better than LaCroix. Even the other carbonated waters taste better than LaCroix. You know, when it comes down to it, like I remember when I used to be on a sparkling ice kick. Like, does anybody remember sparkling ice? I mean, it's still there, but sparkling ice was, maybe I ran it into the ground like I do a lot of things when I get hyperfixated on something. But maybe I'll try it again. But sparkling ice was pretty good. And you know how I found out about it? When I used to watch, because it was on Mad Money with Jim Cramer, and I was like, that sounds interesting. Then for like 3 months, I was hyperfixated on it. Then I stopped drinking it. But maybe I should go back to it. I don't know. It was like cherry or something. I think I tried cherry, grape, strawberry, watermelon. Did they? Yeah. A little bit fuzzy. But, yeah. Maybe I'll try it again. I'm surprised I've never given it another run, to be honest. Sometimes when I get hyperfixated on things, I run it into the ground, and then like 6 months to a year later, I get back into it, probably a little bit more. What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Moderation-ish. I don't run it into the ground. But it's been 2015, 16? Well, I mean, the more you're hydrated, I mean, yeah, I saw that. Sort of a hydration thing, not a drink thing, but I mean, yeah, the more actual water hydration you drink, the more sort of that thing. 79th minute. So. Ten more, 11 more minutes to go plus stoppage time. So that was either 2015, 16. Ashton Morgan and Kane coming on for Forge. For Becker and Campbell. They're going to try to see this one out. Yeah, Juve's always... They've been a joke of a club since the first time they got relegated. First time they got caught doing something like this. Juve merda. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. But yeah, speaking of getting back into things that I was into during my middle school times, a decade ago almost. Well, though grade 6 was a decade ago. Grade 7 is about to be a decade ago. But yeah, I probably need to look back into Sparkling Ice and that Strawberry Brisk or whatever. Getting a bit nostalgic, I'm not going to lie. I know, it's crazy. 9 minutes to go, 2-0. While the Union Wrexham game stopped. I think there's severe weather on the East Coast. At least that's what the weather outlook said. I thought that there was a slight risk of severe weather on the East Coast today, so marginal, some of that nature. I may be wrong though. They may be just melding together in my mind, but 82nd minute. Forge leading 2-0. There's thunderstorms, thought so. Can't believe there's actually celebs that have their own alcohol-free drink brands. You know what? That's a smart thing to invest in, especially if... I mean, most of these celebrities drink alcohol, so that's kind of hypocritical, but if I was famous enough, yeah, that'd be a great idea, doing an alcohol-free drink brand, you know? And then, like, make football jersey color references to, like, cherry and blueberry and all that. Because I wouldn't say I'm completely straight edge, but, like, I wanted to be. But I'm as close as you could get. Like, yeah, I mean, very, very rarely. Very rarely I drink alcohol. Very rarely. It's not zero, but again, I don't even think CM Punk's straight edge anymore. So if we're being completely honest, I think he was kind of bullshitting about that. So to be completely honest, but I know if I'm not as close to straight edge as I could be, it's not good for me. It's not going to end well for me. So I just know it. So it is what it is. Mocktails are on the rise. People have been trying to have the fun without the hangover, and some not trying to get drunk at all. Yeah, that sounds like my lane, to be honest. Like, if I could drink cocktails without alcohol in them, whether they were mock liquors, like some people make alcohol-free spirits, I would do that. Or I would do just fruity mocktails, like a non-alcoholic pina colada or something. 84th minute. I mean, you could find ways. It's all out there. I mean, either way, I was going to drink. If I drink alcohol, I'm going to drink a lot of mixer anyway, because I really don't like the taste anyway. Exactly. 85th minute. But even the older generation around Gen Z buys a lot of seltzers. Again, well, no, my mom is a seltzer person. Like, headed away back in Yodi Janssen, the 86th minute. Again, Moscato, again, the one time. The 3 times they spiked the punch at Homecoming, that was in punch. Couldn't really tell. See, that's the point. Like straight up alcohol, Moscato, champagne. Like if I do drink alcohol, it's normally mixed. Can't really tell. Whether I knowingly do or not. Whether I knowingly do or not. And even then, Moscato has a flavor too, but still. 86th minute. I was just using that as an example. Yeah, Nashville has a coyote mascot. Yeah. I thought that was pretty obvious. I thought that was known well. Okay, I've never heard of those before. 87th minute. Goal kick here. I've never heard of those. Borgs. I've never heard of those. So. Pashis. Wubens Pashis. Still. Cross in. Header. Pashis misses the shot. Ooh, that'll be a goal kick anyway, but that could have been easily a reverse foul. Offensive foul there. 87th minute, getting to the 90th. Forge winning 2-0, and it looks like they'll keep on winning. MLS Stadium right by a major airport is PayPal Park, San Jose. When I heard of that, I thought it was craziness, but it's true. Their stadium's right next to the airport. You hear the planes coming on the runway. So basically tipsy bartender type stuff. Okay. Got it. 88th minute. I think St. Louis City's stadium isn't that close to the airport. The airport's more in like, not North County, but it ain't downtown. DSG Park's by an airport too. Oh. 88th minute. But again, St. Louis's airport is not downtown. Trust me, I know. Just drove back 2 weeks ago when we went to the Melting Pot. It was in between town and country. I don't think it was North County. Maybe it was North County, but 89th minute. One minute plus stoppage time to go. Forge leading 2-0. Denver's airport's the middle of nowhere. So Commerce City's in the middle of nowhere. We knew that already, but still. 89th minute. Forge winning 2-0. Can get to the airport and back faster than I can get to downtown. That's sort of crazy, to be honest. But Forge getting to stoppage time, 30 seconds away, 2-0. If they give stoppage time, I'm sure they're going to give about 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, but should be ending pretty very soon. Very pretty soon. Seconds to go here. Cleared away. Pashis Sissoko and Pashis scored the 2 goals, the 2 substitutes. Forge dominated the second half. 4 minutes. Well, okay, then. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Borges gets a yellow. But again, Forge dominated the second half, and that's why they're winning. They showed their quality in the second half. They maybe should have scored a third or fourth. But 2 is pretty respectable. 2 goals for Forge is pretty respectable. Borges gets a yellow with 3 minutes and less than 10 seconds to go. Free kick taken. Shot over the bar. Goal kick. No, corner in the 91st minute. 3 to go. Corner. To be taken. Providence Park to our airport's a bit of a drive depending on traffic. Corner here with 2.5 to go. Cross in, header. Halfway through stoppage time. Long ball over the top. Pashis. Can he check keeper? No, he doesn't. Borges picks it up. Or Hajabrapur did. Player down, 92nd minute, yellow card. Would have been nice if Pashis could get a second by checking keeper and popping it over him, but he did not. Bit of a tussle defensively. I thought Pashis may have had him there. Hajabrapur loses the ball, and yeah, that's a dirty tackle. That's a yellow, maybe even a red. No VAR, so nice. Guimard gets a yellow with 1 more minute to go at the very least. There could be more. Forge leading 2-0 with at least a minute to go, if not possibly a little bit more. Out for a Vancouver throw with 40 seconds, less than 40 seconds to go, getting to 30. 93-30. 30 seconds to go, at least. Free kick for Vancouver. '94th minute, goal kick here. They let him take the free kick, 94th minute, headed away. As of now, we still go on. And it's full time, 2-0. 2-0 Forge at full time. 2 goals in 2 minutes, pretty much. I'd say 1.5, but just make it easier. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Forge win and get their first win against Vancouver FC. First 2 goals and a win. Forge wins. Farias official for Miami. Good. Very lucky to get the goals today. Hey, they did, though. With that being said, Forge wins 2-0. That was a pretty good game. Especially, well, I wouldn't say. The second half was good. Other than that, not really. With that being said, lucky to see the goals happen, it seems. With that being said, another 45 to go. Or not another 45. The game's over. With that being said, Forge wins. Great game. Great win. I wouldn't say a great game, but a great win. With that being said, if you like the stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification button. Subscribe. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I shall see you tomorrow. Well, within the hour for the review of this game. Then tomorrow for the live watch-along and review of Orlando City versus Santos Laguna. But first, we got to review this. 2-0 Forge. Good win. There you go. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. See you later.